me show you a trick how to make magic circle even with yarn that you would normally struggle with. There is no bad yarn when it comes to doing magic circle. It is a bad technique. This color change was a lot of work. Not as a crocheter who would judge me. I have finished my sweater to Ninja Turtles. It's a weird shape, and the worst part is it's going in here. Don't forget what you are doing HTV. This should be it. I can say amazing. Hi guys, welcome back or welcome if you're new. My name is Tiana and I'm the maker behind Also Stitched, and today we have another weekly vlog, or how many ever days this is gonna go for. I just filmed my yarn haul and I was able to properly clean my tables out of all the yarns, and now I feel inspired to crochet. It is Saturday, 25th of July, in case you're wondering. I was inspired because a pattern that I was waiting for a very long time to be released, it's finally released, and I want to share it with you, and I'm gonna make it in this vlog. There are actually two patterns that I wanna share with you. They're both released today. I mean, for me today on Saturday. For the rest of the world, it's released on Friday. The pattern that I was the most excited for, I actually saw a pattern test. It was on 7th of July, so almost 2 weeks ago. I didn't apply for pattern test because I don't get chosen very often for pattern testing. I think it's because of my Instagram. I have very 0 to none Instagram following, and I don't post on Instagram. In general, I don't do social media like as a private person, especially not as a business person, because I just don't like the idea of social media. I don't do doom scrolling. Let me show you. This is what I do in my free time. I don't have time to scroll because I knit. Look at this beauty. I'm almost done. I need one more sleeve to finish this sweater, and this is what makes me excited, not doom scrolling. I don't have time for that. And that's why I kind of don't put a lot of things into social media, but oh well. I wanted to share this pattern with you because 3 or 4 months ago, at my uni markets, one of the students asked me for this Pokemon. At that time, there was no patterns to make that. And usually when students ask me, or anyone, if they ask me to commission plushies, I don't accept commissions. I tell them, if you ever see it done on my website or back at when I am at markets, it's all of a sudden dark, the cloud has come. Sorry for the light change. That's when you will see it done. I'm not taking custom orders or commissions. I take a note of the plushies some people want to see me make, and then if I make it, fine. If I don't stress over it. When she mentioned this plushie, I didn't know about the Pokemon. The Pokemon name is Ralts. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's Ralts, and she is a fairy humanoid Pokemon, and she is the cutest. Honestly, when I saw her, I was like, oh, it's a shame there's no pattern for her. I did search for patterns and I couldn't find anything. And I feel like once you start searching for something, Instagram algorithm will push that content to you, because I do occasionally still go on Instagram to search for some free patterns, but I don't do that doom scrolling, and I don't post. I need to post more because I kind of need to build my Instagram to be able to be accepted for pattern testing. I didn't apply for this pattern test, but I did apply for the one that I will talk about after this one. Let's go back to Ralts. So Ralts is a fairy Pokemon. She is so cute. I mean, she is adorable. She has that bow cut hair with 2 horns and something like a dress, but you can still see her legs. I don't know how to explain that. She's really cute, and I fell in love with her, and once I start reading about her, I kind of like her even more. And then on 7th of July, I don't want to butcher this name because it is a French name. It is a French designer, and my French knowledge is very poor. Crochet, something like that. I know I'm butchering that. She announced a tester call for Rastal. She's calling the pattern Baby Rastal, and I fell in love. She is the cutest Pokemon I have ever seen, and knowing that one of the students wants her, I don't expect the student to come back at my uni and actually purchase her. I'm just inspired with my students, and I'm just gonna keep making Pokemons whatever they request, and I have a huge list of requests, I'm not gonna lie. I bought this Baby Rastal pattern, and that's what we will be making in this vlog, and I have already started her this morning before I started my filming day, so we'll get into her. But let me just go back for a second and show you the other pattern that we will be doing, because the pattern was also released today and I did apply to pattern test this, but unfortunately I wasn't the chosen one, because I know not a lot of these people on Instagram actually know that I have YouTube channel, or they are following me, because my YouTube channel has a lot more following than my Instagram, but not everyone knows that when they are just on Instagram. Since my appa was selling really good, I knew I wanted more options, so I did bought a bigger version of appa from Abby Jade Art. My smaller version of appa was selling really good at Supernova, and I did bought the bigger one, but I never got the chance to make it. I just didn't have time. And once I saw that No Way Jose is gonna release a new pattern, it's trio with appa, Momo and Ang, I knew I had to have it. It was again released this morning. I feel like everyone is releasing all the patterns at the same day. So I purchased this bundle, and this is what we will be making this week. And since he was running was it a sale? I don't even remember. I don't pay attention to prices. But I also had one of his patterns already in cart. So I bought his, let me double check the name, Bocephus. I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it Bocephus or Bocephus? It is the turtle that he has. It is very quick make turtle, but the good thing about this turtle is he has a mod how to make it in the Ninja Turtles. So I bought this specifically to make Ninja Turtles. I'm not sure if I'll be able to make all 4 of them. We will make at least one of them, and yeah, this is what this video is gonna be about. We're gonna make a baby Ralts Pokemon. We are gonna make trio bundle from No Way Jose. It's gonna be appa, Momo and Ang, and then maybe one Ninja Turtle. All new patterns to me, recently released except for turtles, so yeah, stay tuned for that. I already started Ralts in this morning, and oh boy, she's gonna be huge. I'm doing her in chenille yarn in Hobby Toucan just because of the colors and of the stitch count, guys. Her helmet, in the pattern it's called helmet, but in reality that's just her hair. She has a bowl cut. Her hair is 78 stitches in the round, and it's massive. Look at the size of just her helmet slash hair. Where is the V part? Look at this, guys. She is gonna be huge. Look at the size of the head that she's gonna have. And I was hoping for like small cute plushie. The other thing is, I think pattern designer is doing yarn under while I'm doing yarn over. So of course my plushies do get bigger because I yarn over. I'm doing it in this beautiful green. This is my favorite green color. This is from Hobby Toucan, and this is like a mint color, but not pale mint. This is like a very bright and beautiful mint color, and I'm really struggling to find any replacement for this color, specifically this color, because none of the other brands have this color. I've searched and I just can't find, and it is just the most beautiful green. I use it a lot for frogs, and yeah, this is gonna be full sew on pattern, which I was expecting. I don't mind sewing, but the thing that I might procrastinate, and I tend to procrastinate a lot, is doing eyes. She does offer you in a pattern like cut file, something that you can trace. It's not like Cricut cut file, it's just the cut file so that you can print and trace to make the eyes, but I'm still gonna do them on Cricut. And since there are a lot of layers to her eyes, when there are multiple layers to eyes, I usually use HTV to help me get the depth of the eye without getting the bulkiness of the eye. I don't like to layer felt on felt because I use hot glue gun, and that just makes it very bulky. I'm just gonna use HTV, and I'll probably show you how I do it. I think I did it once in one of my videos. I already done that. I think it was the video when I was doing eyes for Pikachu and Totoro. So feel free to check that out if you're curious how I'm doing, but I think I'm gonna show you again in this video just because why not? Let's show you something new that I haven't done for a very long time. I think it's been over a year when I did that video. So yeah, this is the helmet. I'm about to start crocheting. It is Saturday afternoon and I do have a couple of hours to crochet. I have nothing to do. Look at the size of the head. She is huge. She's gonna be huge, but she's gonna be cute. So yeah, we're gonna go start on the head. I'm not sure how long it's gonna take me to finish all of these plushies because I never stress about crocheting. I don't have a time limit, I don't speed myself, I don't rush myself. I tend to crochet around 4 hours per day because I do knit more. I tend to spend around 6 hours knitting. I like to knit like 2 to 3 hours in the morning and then 2 to 3 hours in the evening, just because knitting is very slow and it's more comforting for me. While at this point, I'm kind of feeling like crochet is my job and I'm just doing it in the working hours. Pattern calls for 2 skeins of white, which is exactly how much I have. I think I have half a skein over there. No, I have a bit over here, so we'll start with this. It's calling for 2 skeins of white, 1 skein of green for the helmet, and is there any other color? Yes, there is like horns. But that's like a little bit of yarn, a little bit, not a lot. So I should have enough yarn to finish her. Yeah, we'll just go from there. We are gonna start with her head and see how much yarn that will take. With my hobby toucan, I'm using 5mm hook, and let's just go from there. Wish me luck, because this head looks huge, like massive huge. Oh, while I'm here, let me show you a trick how to make magic circle even with yarn that you would normally struggle with. This is not something I have invented. This is something that I have learned probably 2 or 3 years ago. The normal way people do make magic circle is you will see them crossing the yarn. This is how they normally do. They cross the yarn at the back. This is good if you're doing acrylic or blanket or whatever yarn, but you cannot cross a chenille yarn because chenille yarn cannot pull over each. I don't know how to explain. Pardon my English. I'm not a teacher. That's why I don't do tutorials and things like that, because I'm bad at explaining. This is how you need to do your yarn. Your yarn cannot touch when you're doing magic circle. And of course, you're just gonna do it the normal same way. You're gonna pull. This is awkward. And just from there, start working your stitches through. I need a pattern. I didn't prepare the pattern. I'm just gonna go with 8, assuming it is 8, but I'm gonna just to show you guys, and then I'll start again if it's not. Okay, just a random number just to show you. This is how you do it. And then on the other side, you have, let me separate them so that I can show you. You have these 2 strands. And then when you turn it around, you will have these 2 strands. One is back, one is front. I've been doing this for so long, so I know which one to pull. I'm gonna pull first on the outer one. It's this one for me. And once you pull that one, oh, this is so weird. That one is gonna pull on the other strand. This is not a good angle to show. Really not a good angle. So once you start pulling that yarn, it's gonna pull the inner circle, and then you start pulling this part and it pulls the other circle. And there is no yarn that you cannot make a magic circle with this technique. So when I see people reviewing yarn and giving bad yarn review because they cannot make magic circle, it is because they're using wrong technique. I'm gonna try to remember to find that video and link it down below, because this is a life changer, guys. There is no bad yarn when it comes to doing magic circle. It is a bad technique. You see? Magic circle, any yarn. This is chenille yarn. These yarns are not easy to do magic circle. Let me see if I'll be able to do a magic circle in the way that you normally should. I think that's gonna be a bad idea. So normally you would do like, I don't know, something like this. And then, I don't know, how do they do it? And then technically you're left with only 1 strand. Let's do 5 or 6 stitches like I normally would. And then you have like 1 strand on the bottom, and then you're supposed to pull this, and it's not going. Look at this. It's not going because that's not the technique you want to use. No shit, Sherlock. Okay, so get a better technique. Learn how to do magic circle for chenille yarn. Don't use the classic old magic circle that people are using with cotton or acrylic yarn. Alright, I'll be back when I make the head, because I'm not gonna film this. I feel like this took an hour. I'm not gonna lie. I'm watching YouTube and I'm not a slow crocheter, but I'm cozy crocheter. I'm just gonna relax and crochet. If this took an hour, I can only imagine that the head is gonna take an hour and a half. So I'll be back once that is done. A few hours later. This is the head. It's done. It's huge. just as I thought it would be. It's huge. I'm gonna show you what we are doing with neck. This is what the head will look with the helmet on. Oh, she looks so cute. This is actually good. I started with helmet first just because I'm overstuffer and I tend to overstuff heads. Then I cannot fit heads or hair, whatever I have to do on the head because I overstuff. So I just did a helmet first, so I'm sure that I'm not overstuffing the head. And look how cute she is. She's gonna be adorable, and this is just the head. I mean, her body is a smaller body, but I assume this is the size that she is gonna be. So yeah, it's gonna be a big chunky girl, and I'm excited for it. I'm really happy. I'm also thinking of making the shiny version. Shiny version has pink body, I think blue hair, and like yellowish orange horns. I actually love the design of this neck because what she is actually doing, she is asking you to pull the neck on the inside. I didn't overstuff the head, so I could actually do this very easily. So don't overstuff your head. This is gonna help you because this is gonna be an extra like support for the neck because she is top heavy. Her head is bigger than her body and you don't want a floppy neck where she cannot hold her head. So this is an excellent technique and this designer did an amazing job. So there she is. This is what her neck looks like. This is gonna be a support for her body because the way we are doing her body, we are doing legs and then we are doing body. We will be sewing arms, we will be sewing whatever that part at the back is. It's like a dress part something, and we will be sewing head to the body, but the body will have like the head extended this part that goes in. Body will have the extended part that will go here in. You know what I mean? This looks awkward. All right, you know what I mean. So there will be an extension to the neck that will go into this hole to support this jumbo head, so she's not having a floppy neck and her head is not wobbly, which is a great feature. I really love the way this designer did that. This is not the first time I've seen that. I bought a couple of doll patterns that I'm yet to make, and I've seen other designers use this as a neck support for their dolls, but I never made that pattern. I bought a pattern but I haven't made it yet. But yeah, this is kind of my first one with this design, but it's a good design. This is all that I have finished today, and I kind of don't want to crochet anymore because it was a lot. I'm not gonna lie, this took a couple of hours. I love these types of projects more than any smaller ones, more than the smaller ones that we also have to make in this vlog, just because this is a plain crochet in the round, very relaxing actually, because you can just put on a movie and watch for a couple of hours and enjoy the crochet part. But I am tired. It's later in the afternoon and sun is going down. I won't be able to vlog any longer because it's gonna be dark in only half an hour. So I'm just gonna relax. I'm not gonna crochet anymore, and I'm gonna update you on whatever I do tomorrow. And I'm back. It is Sunday, the next day. I don't think I will be working on that Pokemon today. Her head is waiting for the body, but I'm not feeling like doing her. I feel something small because I need instant gratification today. It is Sunday and I don't think I will spend a lot of time crocheting, so I want to do something small just so I can see it progress quickly. So I will go with No Way Jose, that trio bundle, and I will do Aang first because he looks like the smallest make and I have already prepared the colors. I'm gonna go with Hobby Toucan number 3 for the skin color. This is gonna be like that orangey reddish whatever he has. This is gonna be instead of the yellow, because the yellow I have this like bright yellow or pastel yellow, so I find this one better. And then I have brown for his boots and a bit of blue for the embroidery of the arrow on top of his head. And that is it. He should be a quick make. He looks very small, and Jose is using, let me double check the pattern, because he is using Parfait Chunky. He is using 4mm hook with Parfait Chunky while I'm using 5 with Hobby Toucan. It's definitely gonna be bigger than his, or it might even not, because I have very tight tension. So even though I'm using 5mm hook, my plushies don't look bigger compared to someone who is using 4mm hook and maybe has a looser tension. So we'll see what the size will be. But yeah, I'm just gonna start with Aang, and then I'm just gonna update you when he's done, and I don't think he should take longer than hours, so we'll see. And he's done. He is quick make. I would say it took me less than an hour, I think, because you do have a lot of color change, you have some embroidery, and you have this color that you are making, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with what he looks like. My husband only said that this nose looks really wrong, weird. He thought it was a bird. He couldn't tell that it's just a nose. He said it's a bit weird, and I'm like, that's fine, it's just a nose. I can easily pull it out if you think it's not meant to be there, but I actually don't mind. I think it looks cute, and this color looks really good. I like him. He's the perfect like pocket size. This is the size of the plushie that I genuinely want to focus more when it comes to me preparing for the next year's Supernova, and these are also the characters that were selling really good for me this year. I also mentioned that I bought all of these characters for my embroidery keychains, but I didn't get a chance to make him. Same with Momo, but I only had Appa, and Appa was selling really good. Same with plushie version of Appa. So yeah, I'm really happy with what he looks like. In the pattern, he's calling him kid, so I assume he's like a kid version of the Aang, not the adult version, because there are both versions definitely. But yeah, I'm really happy with the size of him. He was pretty quick make, and he's very recognizable. Just the arrow on his head, people will know what he is, especially because I'm gonna display them together, Appa, Momo and Aang together, so people will know who they are. So yeah, so far no complaint to this pattern. I had zero issues, nothing was shifting, nothing was problem. I couldn't tell by photos. Let me double check. I think by the photos Jose is doing yarn over, so that's probably why I didn't have problems. I'm not sure if I'm feeling crocheting, maybe later in the afternoon, but I'm not sure. If I do any other crochet, I'm just gonna update you tomorrow because it is Sunday and I feel lazy. I just want to cozy up and go back to my knitting because I want to finish that sleeve on my sweater. Hi guys, welcome back. It's Monday afternoon. I just wanted to do a quick update because on Sunday I remembered that I wanted to knit a baby bear bonnet, which is going to be a gift because I will be meeting Mel from Hey It's Mel B here on YouTube, another crochet YouTuber here in Sydney. So I wanted to give something to her newborn baby girl, and then I remembered that I had this beautiful baby merino yarn in stash that I actually bought to make a baby bear bonnet, and this was the perfect opportunity for me to knit a baby bear bonnet for her daughter. So yeah, I'm really excited. This took a whole evening to knit, but I'm really happy that I managed to do it. So this is gonna be a gift for her. And then this morning I had to edit, guys. Today I started editing my first video after it's already out, of course. It's gonna be so bloody long. I don't know how long because I'm still editing, but once I've put all my footage into the editing software, and I have realized that I have 2.5 hours of footage. 2.5 hours of me yapping to camera. I cannot believe the amount of yapping I can do during day. I really need to find an adult friend to talk to, otherwise I'm too much talking to camera. I mean, all of that to say that I am an introvert, that I prefer talking to camera than people in real life, but yeah, I have already revealed my make because I'm talking with my hands again. Oh well. What I finished this morning is Appa from No Way Jose. Like I told you, that trio we are making. I made Aang on Sunday. Did I make it on Sunday? Where is he? He's here. Aang. I made Aang yesterday. I mean, I'm totally lost for the days, you can tell. I don't have my original because I sold them all on my Supernova, but I was doing those from Abby Jade Art, and they were technically the size, just the size of the head of this Appa, so they were this big, and I was selling those for $25, and now I added a whole body to it, and I was like, how much I'm gonna charge for this, because this is like making 2 Appas now. I think I'm gonna go for around 38 Australian dollars, just because, guys, this is a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie, this color change was a lot of work. Okay, not complaining, it looks beautiful. He does have an option to embroider, but this would be a very long part to embroider and it would be floppy. I prefer color change just because it is nice. I did have some issues with shifting everything, which is something that you can kind of expect because it is very long color change and you can expect color shifting. I did have to do, you see how my arrow is kind of switching here? That's because I have to kind of shift everything to look nice. I have zero complaints about it. I actually enjoyed making him. He took a bit longer than I would prefer, but I don't know, he's such a good size. I could easily get $38 for this if I was selling the smaller version for 25 and the smaller version was just the head size. Yeah, this was done again in Hobby Toucan just because I want them all in Hobby, like a smaller pocket size. And I'm thinking if I were to do them in Bernat blanket, they would obviously be a bit bigger. I could charge more, but it would hurt my hands more, so I'm not sure what to do, okay? I also prefer the way he does this fringe part because the one in Abby Jade is like loop technique, which is not hard but a bit tedious. So yeah, I do prefer his method and it looks very neat and nice. And what else? I'm trying to think. You don't stuff the tail. This is all done in one piece, but you're not stuffing the tail. You're just stuffing the body and you're sewing head to the body or body to the head, whichever. Nothing hard. It's a bit more time consuming because of the color change, but nothing hard. Yeah, I'm curious to see which one will be selling more, if it's gonna be this size or the mini version that I have. And I'm still trying to find time to make the bigger version. We'll see when that will happen. So yeah, out of that trio from No Way Jose, at the moment we have 2 of them. We are still missing Momo. I'm hoping to finish Momo maybe tomorrow because, like I said, 2.5 hours of me yapping. For me to edit that, I think I'm gonna need like 8 hours because I listen to myself 3 times, which is so bloody annoying. The first time I'm doing rough cut and the rough cut is what takes the most. I think it's gonna take me just 6 hours to do the rough cut. And then the second time when I'm listening to myself, I need to do all the overlays. And if the video is 1 hour, that's gonna take probably 2 hours. And then the third time is just proof watching that everything is okay. So as much as I love vlogging, I need to stop yapping and focus on crocheting because I don't have 10 hours to edit such long vlogs. That's a lot, but I kind of do enjoy making them because I guess I have no one to talk to and I like to talk to camera, which is what I'm doing right now. And I'll be back tomorrow when I have an update because this girl is still just in this phase. I haven't done anything to her. I have also started doing my bookkeeping, which is taking longer than it was supposed to. Hi guys, it is Wednesday. Oh my god. This week is flying by and all because of that video editing. That actually took me 2 days to finish that video. It was really a long one and I loved the way it ended up looking. I loved filming that video, but yeah, it was a bit too much. I'm not gonna lie. I'm freezing. It is so cold. We are still in winter. We have another month. I did crochet. I finished my 3rd part of that No Way Jose trio bundle, and that is Momo. And I love him. I'm not gonna lie. I love the size, but for the amount of work he took, I would love him to be bigger. I'm thinking, should I make it in Bernat blanket for the next one, just so I can get a bit more money out of him, because he is kind of small when you look at the body, but those ears were a lot of work because you are doing back and front and then crocheting around and then you have to sew them on. You also have some color change, which I did struggle with a bit of color shifting because as you can see, eyes are here and these spikes are kind of on the other side, but it's also on his photos like that. So it's not just me issue, it is just the way the pattern is. But I feel like when you're looking him like this as a customer, not as a crocheter who would judge me, I don't think you would see that. I think it is good enough. I think I did 16 mil eyes. I think he called for 18. I'm not sure. I think I was doing smaller eyes than what he was calling. And he has a long tail. Luckily this is not for single crochet in the round. This is 6, a bit of color change, and you sew the tail here, which tail could be easily crochet in the round, but then I did tuck it at the head because he also suggests that and I kind of like it. I think the way he will be displayed on the table, the tail would easily sit like this. So yeah, I think it is really good. I loved him. I was thinking of buying a bigger Momo pattern. But now that I have this one, and I'm perfectly fine with this size, if I were to do it in Bernard Blanket, he would obviously be a bit bigger. Let me compare the sizes now that I have all three of them. So Aang is definitely like a small chubby baby size. I would go like 28 for Aang, and then I think I said 38 for Appa, and then I guess Momo would be around 38. I don't know. Momo was a lot more work. I feel like he was a lot more work than him, but I don't know who would pay more than $38 for this size of plushies. Maybe 40. That's like really pushing it. But again, making it in a bigger size and a bigger hook, bigger size yarn, I could get more money, but then also it's more strain on my hands, so I can't decide. I'm happy that I have all three of them to display them together and to see how people will react to all three of them, which one will sell first, and if any sells, I'll then decide which size I want to continue making. I do see myself making more of these, especially when I'm prepping for the next year's Supernova. So yeah, no brainer. This is my go-to pattern when it comes to Avatar from now on, just because they are good size plushies. They are very easy, very simple pattern. I have zero complaints about the pattern, and yeah, I do recommend this. It's nice. It's really lovely. I love them. I highly recommend them. Oh yeah, I bought another pattern. I told you, Turtle from No Way Jose. I think I'm gonna make that one this week too, so I'm gonna update you. As you can see, the baby girl is still sitting there. There's no update on her, just because with all of this editing and bookkeeping, it's really keeping me busy. Plus, I'm filming 4 videos this week. It's crazy. I know. I have too much on my plate, and I'm just scared that I will feel burned out in a couple of weeks, and that this decision of doing 2 videos a week is not gonna be sustainable. But wish me luck. I just hope I won't give up. So yeah, that is just an update for today. It is only Wednesday. I think this video will go longer than a week because I don't think she will be done this week. Even if I crochet her, I know I'm gonna procrastinate making her eyes. That's what's gonna take forever, but oh well. Hi guys, it is Monday, August 3rd. It's been a while since my last update. I actually had to go back and watch the footage to see when was my last update, and it was Wednesday. Oh boy. I actually was very busy because I wanted to smash my bookkeeping so that I can send everything to my accountant, which I still didn't. I have finished my bookkeeping, everything is done, but I still wanna have another look into everything before I send it off, even though when I send it, it's never final. She will come back to me and double check if it's final approval for her to submit to ATO. I wasn't crocheting a lot. As you can tell, I was knitting. I have finished my sweater and I love it. I am obsessed with the colors, the fit and everything. My only problem is the orange color has bled into the white part, but no one can tell except me. I asked every family member, do they see any bleeding? And my daughter was smart. She said, yes, I can see the pink one bleeding. And I said, no, you cannot, because pink is the lightest color and it cannot bleed. But oh well, no one noticed that orange actually bled, but it's fine. I'm not too fussed about it because no one can notice except for me. I just love it. I love the colors. I love the fit. This is cotton merino, so it is more in spring, autumn yarn. It's not very hot and I don't feel hot in it now because it has 50% cotton, and I'm just waiting for spring. I'm done with winter. I'm freezing. I can't feel my hands. I can't crochet or knit because I'm constantly freezing. So I've done some crocheting. As you can see, there is some progress here happening. We'll get to that. Before we continue with our Pokemon, I just want to mention that I also did 2 Ninja Turtles. You saw me making in this video trio from Avatar from No Way Jose. When I bought that trio pack, I also bought his turtle. This turtle has a, I don't know how to pronounce, Bofasu, some name that I cannot pronounce. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but it's gonna be linked down below because his pattern doesn't look like this. His pattern is just plain turtle with a hat. But in that pattern, he has a mod how to create Ninja Turtles. And I knew I wanted it because I do have another pattern that I have actually never made, just because you have to sew all the limbs. And I was like, I can't be bothered with sewing legs. I just prefer plushies with bobbles because it is fast and hassle-free. And when I saw his pattern, I was like, this is just perfect. I want this, and I'm gonna make it in a big yarn, so they are big and chunky. So this is all Bernat blanket yarn, the thick Bernat blanket. I made only 2, and I'm not gonna pronounce their names because I cannot pronounce their names in English because they have Italian names, and when you pronounce them in English, it feels butchering those names. So I'm just gonna skip the names. I know their names, but I'm just refusing to pronounce them in English because you know that Ninja Turtles got their names after famous Italian artists. So I don't know why they're pronounced in English when they are Italians, but oh well. So let's talk about the pattern. These are all Bernat blanket except for the blue color that is snug as a bug. And I do have orange to make the orange one, but I don't have any purple. That's why I only have 2. This is such an easy pattern. Bodies are straightforward. But when it comes to the shell, in the pattern you're supposed to sew on the shell, but I didn't. I couldn't be bothered with sewing. And what I actually did, I just chained however much I needed and slip stitch on the other side. And I'm using it as like a backpack for them. I know that they have different way of carrying those shells. Some of them have like this, some of them have like this, one of them have a cross. They all carry those shells differently, but I just couldn't be bothered with that because I don't think it is that important. All I wanted for me is for it to be not removable. That wasn't the goal, but I just wanted something easy that I can just slide on their back and don't stress about sewing, and it is just perfect. Look, just perfect. No sewing, one strap fits their body, and I love it. I love the size. I love how chunky and big they are, and they're pretty quick make. Anything in a Bernat blanket is gonna slow you down because it's harder to work with this yarn. So yeah, this is the only thing that I did this weekend. Not a lot, to Ninja Turtles, and I love them. I'm definitely gonna make the other 2, but I definitely need to find the purple. Let's talk about Ralts. Baby Rastal. I think she's calling the pattern Baby Rastal. I'm gonna show you what I've done. She's technically completely done. I'm gonna finish her off camera. All I need to do is sewing. So you already saw her head and cap. And now I have her body. This is what the body looks like. I know, it's a weird shape. And the worst part is it's going in here. And the reason I don't want to do this on camera because this looks rude. Very rude to do on camera, especially if you have children around. I don't want to show this on camera. So yeah, this is how you do it. I made sure that this is not too stuffed, that I will be able to put it in and sew it on. So I have finished her legs, I have finished her back parts. This is all sewn on. I do have crocheted arms which are gonna be sewn on after I do eyes. I want to finish her completely today in this video and conclude this video because this has been going on for a long time and I cannot look at her anymore. I've been procrastinating her just because I can't be bothered to pull out my Cricut to do the eyes, but we have to do that today. That's on my to-do list and I want to be done with her. So rude, plain, hello, I'm filming. Hands are done after because you're sewing her head like this and I need to know where I'm gonna put her mouth before I sew her hand on. I'm not sure if you can tell the difference. This leg is a bit smaller than this and this one has a bit bigger holes. You can see, yeah, you can see a couple of holes are showing. The day I did this one, I had an anxiety, so I was very tight. And then the next day I was very relaxed. And then I was loose with this leg. So this leg is a bit bigger and it has holes just because I didn't have an anxiety. I'm gonna do her off camera and then I'll be back to show you what are we gonna do with her eyes. I'm gonna film my process of cutting with Cricut. I also made a mistake. I should have left the tail because the tail would help me to go through the head and push this up, but I also knew that this yarn would not, I don't think I would be able to pull this yarn. This is Hobby Toucan and it just wouldn't be able. So I'm gonna struggle until this goes in. Let's just hope that I can do it. Let's just hope it's manageable. This actually wasn't too bad to push in. My only concern is, you see how floppy the head is? I mean, this technique was supposed to hold the head, which it does, but I'm really not sure if I have stuffed this area good enough. Arms are gonna go here, so arms are technically gonna secure this even better. I know she's not straight, it is just the cap. I'm gonna reposition the cap. My goal was just to fit this as much as I can. I was counting the rows and I'm exactly completely down as she was supposed. She is top heavy. I think arms will help. Also in the pattern you're supposed to put pellets in the legs, which I don't have. I don't use pellets. Honestly, I don't think she will be able to stand on her own. I don't think I did the best job, but it's fine. There's nothing I can do about it. All I need to do is now sew around the head to the neck, and sewing will also give a bit of more structure to the neck. Alright, so here is where I am at the moment. I just finished sewing her horns. Honestly, sewing these horns were harder than sewing her head on. Sewing head made her stable more. She's still not stable to stand on her own because I tried it on a table and she definitely cannot stand. I did try her also on my 35 centimeter doll stand, and she fits on that perfectly, which is a bummer because I only have one and I already know that Hornet needs that one. Here she is. For these I just used whip stitch, which is not the nicest stitch because I worked from the outside instead from the inside, because both of these parts I took the helmet off are very floppy and it was really hard to center them, even them, and then sew them. For the head I used a different stitch, which I actually went on Google to search what is it called. I think it is back stitch, but I'm not sure what is the correct version for it. The reason I did the back stitch is because you are double securing with this stitch. So what you're doing is you're kind of doing 1 foot forward, half foot back. 1 foot forward, half foot back. Technically some of the parts are doubled sewn on, and the way I was doing them, I was holding her this way, and those longer parts you cannot see because they're on the inside of her head and her body. Nothing is visible on the outside. So what I would do is 2 stitches in the head, jump into the body and go 1 stitch back in the body and then back into the head, and then go another 2 stitches through the head back to the body, 1 stitch back into the body, and like that. So technically I'm not sure what is the correct name for that stitch, but it is the stitch that is used in sewing. You are double securing your project, and this I do think it is really nice sew on. It has secured the head so nice, but unfortunately this part I didn't stuff enough and she's definitely floppy. What I'm about to do now, I do have to do some chains around the helmet, but she wants me to sew the chain or glue the chain, and the chain is done in a thin yarn, which I'm gonna use cotton yarn. I don't think I'm able to sew this thin chain nicely. I really don't think I will be able to do that like clean and nice, and this chain is gonna be very thin to glue on because that's gonna be messy. So what I'm gonna attempt, and I'm gonna do that off camera because I just can't do things on camera, that's the double the pressure. What I'm gonna try to do, I'm gonna try surface crochet chain with slip stitches or something like that. This is why I hate making felt eyes, because you need so much materials to make these tiny eyes and it's so annoying. So I have my standard grip for vinyl, I have my fabric, you see it's used for eyes, for felt, and here are my felt options. I actually do have pink, but this is very hot pink. I don't want to use this. I have some scrap of white. I have a lot more white, but I don't need that much. Some scraps of black. I also pulled out my HTV scraps. I keep everything, as you can tell. We have some white. We have a lot of black. You can also do glitter, but glitter needs, this is glitter without the plastic, this is glitter with plastic, this is without. I do it without for my embroidery machine because this plastic cannot go in embroidery, only like this. You can do glitter, with HTV only if that is the last layer, because you cannot layer anything on top of the glitter. You can try. I don't know if I have tried and failed, but I've learned that I don't do that. And then we have 2 shades of pink. We have, this is called medium pink, not very visible, and light pink. You'll get to see all of these when we start cutting. And this is the process now that is gonna be the most tedious, and I just hope I will have time to do everything. We shall see. So first we need to do felt, because I want to get rid of this mat out of my way. I hate working with this. What we are doing with felt is base for the eye and mouth. We need that. Let me do that part first. All right, so I have positioned my felt, secured it very well. The white piece is even bigger than I needed, so this is where it will cut the white part of the eyes, and this is where it will cut mouth, and that's how I position it on the mat on the Cricut. I have everything pre-saved here. If you have ever worked with Cricut, then you know you can bookmark all of your most used things. I have special felt or acrylic fabric. It's gonna warn me that I need to put a rotary blade in, so I'm just gonna do that. Here is what the rotary blade looks like. Rotary blade is the best for cutting fabrics, felt, or anything like that. Okay, my blade is now in. And here we are going with cutting. Let's just hope it is cut okay. It's okay, yeah. There is one tiny piece, you can see here, only one tiny piece not cut, and some here, which is not a big deal. I usually cut that off. Maybe I could have put a bit more pressure. Depends on the blade, how new or old your blade is. So this is it. I'm gonna clean those fluffs around. Look at the mouth, so tiny. Now I need to change blade again, and then we will cut vinyl. I am back. I had to do school run and everything mothers need to do to keep the children alive. They are sorted in their rooms, playing and screaming, so we'll have to rush with this because I'm also losing daylight. So I sorted everything on the mat. So this is my light pink, dark pink, white and black. Don't forget when you are doing HTV, shiny sides need to go on the sticky part, because I don't know how to explain this, because we will be weeding this. I'll show you. Just remember, shiny side goes down because we will be cutting this part. So I have everything set up on my mat. I'm just gonna use normal blade, normal pressure, and let's hope it works. Okay, that clip was my iron, so I won't be using heat press, even though I do have a heat press, but I can't be bothered to pull something that big. I will be using my mini iron. I hope this is all cut good. You can't see anything. Let's pull it off the mats and check if it's all good. I mean, should I? I'm gonna actually leave it on the mats in case the cut wasn't good. I can still put it through the Cricut because I didn't change the position. I'm just gonna try and weed the cut part to see if the cut was good, if it's possible to do on the mat like this. Okay, just to show you. So the plastic bit that is actually heat protector is still down, but I am pulling just the weeded part, cut part on, or weeding, how do you even call this? See? This is what we are left with. and I'm gonna do that for all the other pieces. So here is everything cut. All right, so I actually had to clean everything because I can't work in a mess. I just can't. It's so frustrating for me. So I'm just gonna cut these pieces. I have already turned on my heat glue gun to warm. It takes a while. Not a long, but it takes a couple of minutes. I should have maybe left a bit more space between those two. So here is the hot glue gun I will be using. I think I talked about this one already. It is the Ryobi, whatever you call this, I'm not sure. You can buy this in Bunnings and you can buy it anywhere in the world. I think this is American brand. All you have to do is buy separate battery. Batteries come separate. You have a bigger one or a smaller one. If you are using their power tools, you already maybe have batteries. I love this one. First of all, you don't have that annoying wire hanging from it. And second of all, this is all you're having in your hands. This is so lightweight and small, and I'm scared it's gonna start dripping. Once you take it off the base, it's not charging anymore. It's charging only when it's on base, and it has a drip tray. And this is so lightweight. So when you're gluing anything, I use this mostly for flowers or for anything. As it's warming, it's gonna definitely start dripping. That's why it's good, because it has this tray. And while you're using it, you don't have that wire, or you don't have the one with a battery, because you're having so much more strain on your hands when you're operating the bigger tools with batteries or things like that. So I definitely do recommend this one for crafters, just because it is so light on your hands and it's very small and it's strong. Like, it heats really good. You can use any generic glue sticks, it really doesn't matter. I order mine cheaply from AliExpress or Amazon or things like that, but I definitely do recommend this heat glue gun, and I'm not sponsored or anything like that. You can find this in Bunnings. I think it was around $50 without battery. I think battery is almost 50. I don't remember, because I bought this like 3 or 4 years ago. I don't remember. I'm just gonna let it here to heat up. It takes a couple of minutes to heat, and then for ironing, I'm gonna use this small Cricut iron. You can use heat press if you have it, but for these we actually don't need anything strong, because it is such a small pieces that we will be doing, and I'm gonna show you. I will be using heat protector. This is also Cricut. I know, a bit excessive, but oh well. So technically she's using this as a base, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna open my iPad so I can reference the photo, and I feel like I will be cutting this in the end. First layer she has is the dark pink, and I need to be mindful that one eye is left eye, one eye is right eye. This is gonna be one eye, and it's good because this plastic is sticky and it's gonna help you stick to the felt while you are gluing it. I'm just checking it's good, and I'm just gonna heat press this on. That's why you're leaving this plastic thingy, because that is what is heat resistant. And I'm just gonna do this for like 10-15 seconds with light pressure. I'm not doing anything strong, because we will be doing this a couple of more times, because we will be layering. I'm just gonna let it cool until I prepare my second eye. So this is gonna be my second one. I'm trying to make it look right. It kind of looks right. Sorry about the lighting, I can't do anything about it. It's getting dark, it's not the best light. Okay, now I can peel the first layer. You see how it's coming off, and we have felt. Lighting is so bad. We have felt with pink layer on. I kind of want to see where everything is going before I put that pink one. Something like this. It should be something like this. All right, so this should be it. It looks okay. It looks best to my abilities. So I'm just gonna remove black, because we need to do layer by layer. Now we remove black so that we can press light pink. And we need to be careful, because this part is not protected, and this part. I usually have like a Teflon sheet, which honestly I don't even know where to look for it, so I'm just gonna use this old part on top of it just to protect, and heat press the light pink. Okay, now we have light pink on. We can put the black if we remember where the black was. It was something like this. Double checking, it looks good. I'm gonna put this back on, and now we are pressing the black part. And all we have to do now is put the white part, which goes somewhere here. That looks good enough for me. It looks even. This is not gonna be my last heat press. I'm just gonna press the white part, and I'm just gonna give it one last to even out, because usually plastic leaves a bit of indent. As you can tell, there is a bit of indent from the last plastic, so I'm just gonna do it overall to smooth everything out. This is one eye done. That lighting didn't look the nicest, but oh well, there's nothing we can do about that now. I need scissors because I wanna kind of clean this around. I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave the whole white part because she really doesn't have it in this photo. I'm gonna actually put her on this doll stand. I tested and she fits on 35. Hands are gonna go after because I need her mouth on to figure out where is she going. And she's telling you the rounds where you're gonna place it. It's round 13 to 20. Let's mark that. I can pull the helmet more forward if I need to cover the eyes, but I don't. I actually am gonna leave the eyes peeking. Are these eyes too big? Why am I overthinking? Are these eyes too big? I'm kind of overthinking now. This would be the position. Now I have to just glue it, just do it. But this looks huge. I'm definitely overthinking. It kind of looks huge and I'm not sure. I just need to stop overthinking and just do it. I have put where the mouths are gonna go. And this is what we have at the moment. I usually just put my glue mostly in the middle. I avoid edges because I don't want to glue running. And we'll just go with it. I apologize for the noise from the outside now. Kids are playing. But I just needed fresh air because I was anxious. This got me overthinking too much. And I did a video on testing the hot glue gun on plushies where I did a pull test. Not stressed about this. Also, this is a collectible piece. This is not something a kid will buy and play with. I might go back and fix with more glue, but I don't like to do so. Just need a tiny drip without burning myself. She's good. I like it. I might go in because you can see a bit flapping here. So I might go in around the edges. Of course, being careful the glue doesn't run out. I'm gonna definitely have spider webs, but that's fine. As long as I don't have glue running out, I'm good. Oh my god, this is taking forever. All I have to do is sew the mouth arms on and I'm done. And I'm gonna turn off glue gun and let's try with the helmet on. Helmet is a bit wrinkly now that I have done these slip stitches around. Oh my god, it's actually covering her eyes perfectly. Oh, it's perfect. Love it. But look at her. She's perfect. Oh my god. Finally done. All I have to do is sew arms and I'll be back when all is done. And I'm done. I have turned on the overheads just to get a bit of more lighting because it's very dark here and I want you to see her in her full glory. I did tell you the pattern designer, but I can't pronounce it because it is in French. Okay, so the Google says that this is pronounced Crochet. So apologies if I'm butchering this. I'm doing my best. Crochet. That is the pattern designer and I can say amazing. All I can say, amazing. She's not a lot of work as you would think, and she's not like a huge, ginormous plushie. She did take me a long time because I was procrastinating. As you can tell, the eyes were the most work for me, but it was worth. It was worth so much. Look at those eyes. You see? Her head is flopping. I mean, that's how she's standing. That's how apparently she should be leaning at the back. I'm gonna definitely lean her at the back of something or I'm gonna use the doll stand. We'll see. but this is her in her full glory. Helmet is completely removable and she is amazing, I'm not gonna lie. I really don't expect the student who asked for this plushie to come to market and buy it, but at the same time I'm really hoping that she will at least acknowledge it or be surprised, because I'm not sure how I'm gonna price this, guys. This is in a range of 150 as I would normally price, but then again my Mew and my Charizard are priced at 150 and I feel they are a lot bigger. And she actually is not a lot of work just because she has basic shapes. Her head is just a circle, helmet half a circle, and these legs, it's nothing hard about the arms. You have a bit of more work here because you're working each one of these, connecting them and then sewing it on. So this was a bit more work, and these lines, I mean, nothing hard, and I'm not honestly sure if I would repeat her. I mean, now that I have eyes cut files saved, next time it's gonna be smooth sailing, it's gonna be easier than the first time figuring out everything. So yeah, I might do it again if she was quick to sell. For example, if she's quick to sell on my uni market, if that girl ever comes back and buys her, I might considering making her for Supernova, because she's one of those characters that is not seen very often and it would be a unique Pokemon to have at the big convention, which I am preparing for the next year. And in case she doesn't sell at my uni market, I'm fine to have her for Supernova. She would be a unique plushie to have for Supernova. I'm in love. Beautifully written pattern, very detailed, very nice photos. Everything was into the details. It is just perfection, and it is not just written, everything is in the photos, so I could have everything visually. And the fact that she's also providing a cut file, which is not the Cricut cut file, it's amazing. I appreciate designers who put their time to provide us with cut file, whether it's just the print cut file, it doesn't matter, it worked for me. So well done to this designer. I am so excited about her and she's so cute. Look at her. Amazing, just amazing. So yeah, she was definitely the biggest make of this vlog. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I hope that me showing you how to use Cricut with HTV and things like that give you some inspiration, give you some new ideas how you can use your Cricut. I was also thinking of designing eyes for my embroidery machine, but that is not something that I'm really comfortable doing and showing you and doing tutorials, because I could easily do these eyes on my embroidery machine. So my embroidery machine can easily embroider eye on a felt, or I can even embroider it on a water soluble backing. So once I dip it in the water, I will be left with only embroidered thread eye, which I also need to glue on. I was thinking about it, but digitizing something like that is not a quick job, and if digitizing anything for embroidery takes a long time, and you saw me procrastinating doing this so simple. I'm definitely thinking of designing a couple of eyes for embroidery machine, and maybe I'll share that in the future. We have months and months preparing for Supernova and my other conventions and markets, so we'll get the time to share all of those other crafts that can also help you with your crochet, because who would have thought that Cricut can help us a lot with crochet? So I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know, was this useful for you? Did you enjoy this part of me showing you Cricut? And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer. I answer all of the comments, and yeah. So this is the wrap up of this week's video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy crafting.